That's what I'm going to do.
We change the world in history right here where we're from. It's new beginning to you and me, cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done. I appreciate that.
It's time to rise and shine this morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. I'm doing pretty good. I woke up on this side of the ground. In the ground, of course, what? No, I wasn't on the. Okay, it's better. I woke up on top of the ground, and the ground was not on top of me. I'd say that's a lot to be thankful for this morning. Absolutely, because it certainly could have been the other way around. Good morning to all of you guys this morning. A lot of things to talk about today. Oh yeah, a lot of things to talk about. We do. We have a lot of things to talk about. Wow, it's chilly outside this morning. I'll give you the weather forecast. But I love it. I love this. This is my kind of weather. Unfortunately, it probably won't stay this way because you know how weather is. That's why they call it weather, because it weather will and it weather won't. But either one, it will do something. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Rise and shine. And again, it is a good day, a fantastic day to be alive. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. Then again, even my bad mornings feel pretty good, better than the alternative. Anyway, good morning to you. It is the time on the clock right now says it is 7:09 in the morning. So if you got to be there by 7:30, then you will most likely make it. If you get out of there right now. I'm just saying, you don't want to play around with time because it waits on no man. So it ain't going to wait on you either. I'm just saying. All right? Believe it or not, it is the 21st day of October 2020. 2025. It is a day that has never been. It is a day that will never, ever be again. It is a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and once it's over, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and undo all the things you do this day. And more importantly, you don't get a chance to come back and do the things that you should have done this day that you don't. So whatever it is that you do with this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done on this day. Visualize Jermaine said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well, no man living, no man dead, no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say, if that is the standard by which you live your life, you'll always be successful. Or you'll fail at a thing or two, we all do. But you'll never be a failure until you quit. We say give out if you must, rest if you can, but you never, ever give up. Because quitters will never win. And winners, well, they never quit. Oh, they may fail at a thing or two, but they never quit. My mother used to say, all you have to do to keep moving is put one foot in front of the other. You'll keep on moving. Next up, it is Our Daily Bread, a word from on high, something that'll change your perspective or give you a new one. But either way, it's good for the soul. Good morning to you. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. Good morning to you.
The best way to escape temptation is to run to God.
Our Daily Bread.
Today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional was written by Lawrence Darmani. Lawrence writes, my desk sits close to a window that opens into our neighborhood. From that vantage point, I'm privileged to watch birds perch on the trees nearby. Some come to the window to eat insects trapped in the screen. The birds check their immediate surroundings for any danger, listening attentively as they look about them. Only when they are satisfied that there is no danger do they settle down to feed. Even then, they pause every few seconds to scan the area. Lawrence continues, the vigilance these birds demonstrate reminds me that the Bible teaches us to practice vigilance as Christians. Our world is full of temptations, and we need to remain constantly alert and not forget about the dangers. Like Adam and Eve, we easily get entangled in attractions that make the things of this world seem good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom. Be on your guard, Paul admonished. Stand firm in the faith. And Peter cautioned, be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. As we work for our own daily bread, are we alert to what could start consuming us? Are we watching for any hint of self-confidence or willfulness that could leave us wishing we had trusted our God?
Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Genesis chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, did God really say, you must not eat from any tree in the garden? The woman said to the serpent, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say, you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die. You will not certainly die, the serpent said to the woman, for God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. That's today's scripture reading from Genesis chapter 3, verses 1 through 7.
And now let's pray. Lord, keep us from the secret sins and selfish reactions we're so naturally inclined toward. By your grace, turn our temptations into moments of growth in Christ-likeness. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries. The best way to escape temptation is to run to God.
Gotcha. Now, let us honor our armed forces. Please, United States of America, and we shall return. And let me just say good morning to Maxwell and Gunner Air Force Base. After all, this is an Air Force town. And we have to pay homage to the Air Force. I mean, there it goes. I mean, if I was near Fort Benning, and I'd say good morning to the troops, but that's a long way from there. Bum, bum. And last but certainly not least, the United States Marine Corps, whose motto is Semper Fidelis, which means always faithful. Hoorah, Marines, hoorah. Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, and of course, Space Force, and the United States Marines. Boom, boom, boom. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, all right. I feel you on that. You know, now people say, well, why does he play that every morning? Because they're out there every morning. They're out there on the byways and the highways in foreign countries and getting smoked. Right now, there's somebody at some base getting smoked, going through basic training and trying to figure out what this soldiering thing is all about, airman and marine thing is all about. Every morning, somebody is getting the wood to them. All right, I'm just saying. So we can't let them think that we forget about them once they go there. I mean, it ain't like jail, although sometimes it feels like it. But yeah, we always gotta always respect our young people because unfortunately, we don't miss them until they're gone, and so we need to show them while they're here. And in the world we live in today, we don't know when somebody might be called to go someplace. Okay. Anyway, good morning to all of you. Hope that they find you well. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. Okay, I got I got a note up there already. Okay then. Evidently, there must be a delay or something in our system here. That's not me. I got the fastest internet you can get. I'd be glad when we get fiber on this side of town, then you won't have that delay. But right now, if you wake up this morning and you think that it's a little cool outside, it is. It had a 45 degrees this morning, and I tell you what, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Well, okay, it's 46 degrees right about now, but the forecast for today is this. Let me get out of here right quick so I can get my forecast right here. See, I don't know why they got to put all this advertising on this thing. I mean, if I wanted some of the junk, I'd buy it. All right. Anyway, there's a today. The high today is 85 with a 15% chance of precipitation today. Sunshine and through afternoon clouds, but slight chance of afternoon showers. High today near 85 degrees. Winds west southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. On tonight, we got some evening clouds and give way to clearing overnight skies. A slight chance of rain and a shower or two. Low 49. The wind will be at northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. On tomorrow, if they want to reach that far, 5% chance of precipitation. Sunny skies, 77 for the high. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So the barometric pressure is 30.11, like I really care. Visibility is 9 miles. That means as long as you're not halfway blind, you can see with your eyes about 9 miles. You may not know what you're looking at, but you can see. The clouds are partly cloudy, dew point 45, humidity is at 87%, rainfall 0, and snow 0. Well, you don't probably have to worry about that. Okay. The high on this day historically has been 78 degrees. So who knows? We may be getting a little higher than that today. All right. Good morning. All right, then. Let me see what else is going on today. Okay. The lessons of life. I got to give you a lessons of life today because it's important. Because each day we should learn something, right? And today's lesson is the treasures of life lie in the journey more than in the destination. So just remember that because today you're probably going to, run into some things today that you really don't expect. And somebody once said, it's not what happens to you in life that gets you where you need to go. It's how you handle it. Okay. I'm just saying. So again, life lessons today, the 21st day of October. The treasures of life lie within the journey more than in the destination. The word of the day is benignity. Now you got to be careful about this word, okay? Because you see that, you see how it sounds, right? You know how it sounds. Benignity. See, a brother could be saying that, a white guy could be saying that just trying to be intelligent, and then he gonna mess around, get whooped on because nobody understood the word. Okay, benignity. Okay, it means a good deed or a favor, for instance, or an instance of kindness. Benignities, okay, are born of selflessness. Okay, so y'all just, be benignant sometimes. Okay, I'm just saying, be benignant. Okay, so the word of the day is benignity. I was y'all, unless you spend a lot of time pronouncing that word. I wouldn't. I mean, if you're a wordsmith like me, then it'd be okay. But I just want you to be careful with that word because it means the best of a human being is what it means. But again, listen, our language in America is made up of many, many, many other languages. Okay, but I like this word, benignity. Yeah, what a great word. What you gonna do today, Elkins? I'm gonna benignity. Okay, I didn't ask you what you were. Okay, see, you didn't understand the word. Okay, no, benignity. Okay, that's the word. Word of the day. That's what it is. All right then. Also, what else are we going to do to talk about today? There's so many things to talk about today. But before I get to anything serious, the whinings. No, I didn't say whinings. I said the whinings. Marvin Winans. This guy ought to give up the church business. He bemoaning one of his peers, one of his congregants, his parishioners, because He wanted her to give $2,000, and she only had 12. So he's sitting there making her feel. I wish I had the video here because I'd show it to you. I mean, God don't even tell you how much money to give, right? He doesn't. You give what you want. He said, God loves a cheerful giver. Now, why in the world? This guy. I mean, listen. I understand he got a little fame and all that stuff, but that don't mean nothing to me. I wouldn't go there. Okay. Should a preacher tell you how much money to give? There's a couple of churches in town that ask people for their what's that thing you get at the end of the year? Your W-2 or what? They want to know how much you made or what you're making. I'm not going to give you that. That's my business. I mean, however little, however much it is, I'm not going to give you that kind of information. I mean, what's wrong with it? No wonder people stop going to church as much as they used to. You going to tell me how much I need to give? Really now? Really? I don't think so. What kind of stuff is that? No, let me get my face right. But anyway, you can find it on the internet, and he just went off the rail. I mean, you don't tell people how much to give in church. That's between them and God. And the 10% thing, that's not really relevant in the New Testament. But we'll get to that when I get these preachers on one of these days, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come then. Okay. But should a pastor tell people how much money to give in church? I'll be going there like one time and I ain't coming back. Anyway, now let's talk about an insult to a lot of people in Montgomery this morning. And I don't know who's responsible for it. I don't know who's responsible for it, but somebody is. Now, one of these guys that were charged with murder got out on a $60,000 bond. I mean, are they crazy? Really? Okay, I understand that you got a right to, you got a right to bail and bond and all that stuff, but 60 grand? Really? Seriously? 60 grand? Hell, I can afford to get out on that. I mean, what kind of message is that sending? I mean, what kind of message are we sending? And so, does anybody know who the judge was in that? I mean, why? Why? I don't get that. Okay, and I got to find the story here. And also, the Montgomery was considering the face covering ban. And they expanded the curfew following mass shooting, which they ought to. We need a curfew in Montgomery. Okay, we just need one. Okay, even the governor yesterday got in on this this thing on Facebook. She wrote a thing saying, "Wow, they did a job. They did a job. They did a job, and okay, they did a job, and they got the guy who did this stuff, and they let him out. Now, what motivation does he have to come back? Okay, to come back to court. Okay, what motivation is that? Let's see what WSFA has to say about this. Because I'm just this is appalling. I mean, what kind of punishment is that? I mean, I know you got a right to bail. Don't get me wrong. You got a right to bail. You do. But why such a low bail? That's what I cannot quite understand. Okay, that's what I just can't. Somebody said it's a slap in the face. Let me see here, and I believe it is. Let's go.
I used to think that security threats and hackers look
Yeah. Right here. Okay.
But actually,
I'm not
security risks.
Yeah.
And Montgomery Police Chief Jim Grayboys and Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed are addressing the media right now about that deadly mass shooting that happened in downtown Montgomery about 2 weeks ago. 4 people have been arrested, including a juvenile. Let's get the latest now on the investigation.
The mass shooting that happened here on October the 4th. We know that there's still a long recovery process for many of those that are dealing with the trauma and the injuries, as well as their families that will be not just here as the physical wounds heal, but also as the mental wounds take many, many more weeks and months to truly heal, if they ever heal. But we also know that means our city is also in the healing process. And we continue to deliver on our promise for justice. We have arrested 4 suspects in this incident.
And one of them's gone out of jail now.
We expect all those tied to them to be held accountable. That progress reflects the tireless work of the Montgomery Police Department under Chief Jim Grayboys and the collaboration of our law enforcement partners, including the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, the Alabama Law Enforcement Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms (ATF), FBI, and the U.S. Marshal Service. We want to explicitly call them out because all of them have been integral in the process that's been going on here.
We want to know
so
why
for
they
the
got
sheriff and police chief, to those at the state and federal levels, we say thank you for your work, for your investment, your energy, and technology and expertise. This coordination has not only been critical in this case, but in multiple recent investigations.
Okay, we got that. So Bud says that the bail is set by state law. The judge has to follow the law. So the state needs to increase the minimum bail amount. But for murder, I mean, really? Why? Don't the governor know that? She's the one signed the bill. She was kind of upset about it yesterday also. She didn't act like it was something.
Connection to the October 4th mass shooting. The first, a juvenile male.
Mm-hmm.
The second, Dontavius McGee.
Yeah.
And the third, Keamonte Hood. Each of these 3 subjects have been charged with 1 count of capital murder, 9 counts of assault in the first degree, and 3 counts of assault in the second degree.
Yes.
A 4th shooter on the scene, Javoric Whiting, has been charged with 1 count of attempted murder. It has been brought to my attention today that, of course, that subject has bonded out.
And we don't
on this
understand
attempted
that.
murder charge.
We don't understand that. Yeah, we don't understand.
These senseless acts of violence on October 4th,
Mm-hmm.
that claimed the lives of Shalonda Williams and Jeremiah Morris will not be forgotten. And personally, I'm so angry about it. I'm angry about every homicide. We are going to do everything we can to keep investigating this case.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Our hearts are with their families and their friends and their loved ones as they mourn. We will continue to pursue justice until every person involved is either, whether they were involved directly or indirectly, they will be held accountable. If somebody is hindering us or hiding anybody who might be involved, you will face consequences. We are going over every piece of evidence with a fine-tooth comb.
Yes.
And so this investigation, of course, is going to continue until every individual is held accountable who needs to be held accountable. Now, I want to talk about some other things as well because they've been on my mind.
Okay, that's good.
And some of the things I'm going to talk about here are some other cases that we're working on. Over the course of the past month, we've arrested and charged Kadarius Griggs, age 19, in the shooting death of Eldrin Wright, age 22. He was killed on October 23rd, 2024, in the 1000 block of Liberty Square. As some of you all might be familiar, that was the 5th suspect that we developed and arrested in relation to the Liberty Square shooting of last year. I'm mentioning that because that also goes to my point that we don't care how long it takes. We're going to go and pursue every investigation till its full completion and until we get every individual we deem has been involved and charge them. In addition, we also charged Detrick Donnell Johnson, age 22. He got arrested with capital murder in the shooting death of Kendall Foy, which took place on September 14th, 2025.
That's young people.
And of course, he was taken into custody on September 17th. Most recently, we arrested and charged Derrickana Dunklin, age 20, with murder in the stabbing death of Amari Capleton, age 19, which occurred in the 3200 block of Raintree Drive on September 21st. Each of these arrests reflects the hard work, persistence, and dedication of our detectives and our law enforcement partners. But these cases also highlight a serious ongoing concern. Too often, violent crimes are committed by individuals who are already out on bond for other serious offenses.
Right.
This pattern of repeat violence puts our community and our officers at risk. I am again calling on our judicial system to partner with us in ensuring that violent offenders are held accountable and do not have the opportunity to reoffend. True public safety requires follow-through from the first arrest to the final resolution. In the past 30 days, 57 individuals have been arrested on felony charges here in Montgomery.
57.
Some of these arrests are connected, actually, to these major investigations, while others involve separate violent crimes. Each arrest represents a step towards restoring safety and trust in our community.
Not when you let them out.
To the parents and guardians of Montgomery, I want to speak directly to you. Know where your children are and who they're spending time with. Talk to them about the choices they are making. Talk to them about the people who they surround themselves with. Your awareness and guidance can prevent tragedy. Our police department remains fully committed to protecting the city. We will continue to work alongside our law enforcement partners, our community, and our judicial system to ensure justice is served and that Montgomery remains a safe place to work.
Did you hear one of the first things he said, though, when he came on with this message? A lot of these people are out on bond committing other heinous acts of violence. Now, the word minimum seems to I don't know, to ring in our judicial system here in the county of Montgomery. You know, do we? How are we going to send a message to people that you just don't get to go around and hurting people and killing people in this city? And if we give them an overnight stay in jail and the next day $60,000 bond, I think you only got to come up with 10% of that with the bail bonds, people. And what is that? $6,000 you got to come up with to get out. And it amazes me that these people always have that kind of little money, that money hanging around. I just can't go pick, hey, let me pick that $6,000 up right now. So these people engage in lots and lots of things, nefarious things. But I'm just wondering, why do we always...
The subject who was charged with attempted murder, and he's out on bond 4 days after we arrested him.
Okay, and therein lies... Now,
that subject, not only does he have a long criminal history, but back in 2023, I'm showing two things on my sheet here with him. For robbery second, he did a guilty plea.
I mean, we're not even scared.
And apparently an arrest on the same date, and 7/31/23, arrest for robbery first.
What's he doing out of jail?
But he was already out for us to arrest him on the 22nd of last month. And these are just two of the violent felonies I'm looking at. If I look at another one, right behind him, I've got a subject we arrested also on September 22nd for robbery first and kidnapping, 2 counts of each. But then in 2023, I'm showing that the subject has a robbery first and a murder arrest. And now we have the subject who was charged with attempted murder, and he's out on bond 4 days after we arrested him. So the police can arrest, and we will arrest, and we will solve crimes. We're solving this one. And as I said before, 57 other crimes over the last 30 days that were serious felonies that we've solved. But what happens after they get arrested?
no wonder it's hard to keep police in Montgomery. I mean, no wonder they work their butts off to try to solve some, and we let them right back on the street. Well, I don't think the mayor has anything to do with I don't think the mayor has anything to do with the bonds. That comes from the judicial system and the legislatures and people like that. Even the governor yesterday was complaining about how you going to do. Well, y'all the ones signed the laws. We need to ask Kenyatta. We need to ask Tashina Morris. We need to ask not the city council people or the people that are the people in the county commission and stuff like that. No, this comes from our legislatures. All them folks are making $69,000 a year for a part-time job, and they can't get it right. Okay, and again, so the question is, who do they work for? Who do they work for? Because they're damn sure not working for us. They're putting us in more danger. How in the world are you going to get arrested? 4 days later, you out walking the streets again. And as a matter of fact, a lot of these people have been arrested again once they get out for doing something else crazy. So how do we? No wonder we have a hard time getting police around here. What the hell are they going to get? I mean, why are they going to put their butt on the line to get somebody and then turn around and let them out 4 days later? I mean, something's wrong with that. But that goes to our legislators, though. That goes to Senator Hatcher. That goes to Senator Barefoot. That goes to Representative Ingram, Representative Hatcher. Senator Hatcher. Who I can't even remember. They're so unknown right now. Normally, I used to know everybody's name down there. Now I can't, because you never hear from them. You don't hardly ever hear from them unless you go over there on Roscoe and they have a roundtable discussion about what kind of coffee they're gonna drink. But they don't come answer the hard questions. They just don't. And McClammy. Who else we got? I'll find. I mean, they become almost unknown to me. And I used to keep up with every last one of them, but I don't know what they're doing anymore. I don't know what we're doing anymore. We can't get a lottery. We can't keep people in jail. Even the governor on Facebook with Jamal Brown. Even she on Facebook whining about this. So I don't know. Let's continue listening to that. We're going to something else.
There's a serious conversation that needs to be had, and I think we need assistance, basically, both legislatively and in the judicial system about what we're going to do. I think Anaya's law is a great law, but maybe it needs to be expanded. Maybe people need to use the discretion that Anaya's law gives them to hold people for trial when they've been arrested for violent felonies. Next question. Yes, ma'am.
We can't hear her.
It has not. I have not been notified of any changes to their status. As I am presently aware, 3 are still considered life-threatening. Of course, my prayers are with them. I want to see everybody recover from this. So we're just monitoring that. And of course, as conditions can change, charges can change as well. But we will pursue every avenue available to us to make sure that people are held accountable.
Hold them accountable till
Yes,
they get to the jail. Hold them accountable. Hold on a second there. Ain't taking the calls at the moment. We'll get back to you in a minute.
Not to perpetrate the shooting, but happen to be harmed and returned. If that was the case, you anticipate charges forthcoming for some of the people who were armed at the scene and responded to the fire with fire.
Responsibilities. When we're not doing that, we're highlighting the things that we know that we deal with day to day. When you injure multiple people, we're seeing mass shootings take place, unfortunately, more and more in our society. There have to be some exceptions to who's allowed to post bond and who's not, and under what circumstances. This, to me, is certainly one that should be a no-brainer. And I think too often when mayors talk about this, it's viewed through some, not all, but some as, well, the mayors are obfuscating their responsibilities. When we're not doing that, we're highlighting the things that we know that we deal with day to day. Outside of this, I would be in South Alabama meeting with the 9 other mayors of the largest cities in this state. And there's not a session that goes by when the Big Ten Mayors Association gets together. We aren't talking about public safety and what things need to change. And that's a bipartisan group of mayors that represents various portions of this state. And I think it's incumbent upon those at the state level not to allow these types of things to slip through the cracks. There have been mass shootings in this state over the last several years in other cities. So we've known what the possibilities could be. The thing we have to ask is whether it's the Attorney General, whether it's the state legislature, anybody.
Okay, and Don, listen, the mayor has nothing to do with letting people out of jail. Okay, now let's blame our politicians when they deserve some of the blame, but you can't blame them for this. This is the judicial system and the House of Representatives and the Alabama Senate who come up with these weak little laws, okay? Because they're spending all their time trying to keep a lottery out of Alabama, and they letting it. But listen, they're making us part of the lottery, okay? Because you don't know if you're gonna get home or not that night because some crook we didn't let out of jail decides to go down the road and start shooting at people. Okay, so they're not giving us the lottery. They spend more time with that. They are just hold a minute, Don. I'll get back with you in a second. We're the lottery, okay? We're the lottery. We taking a chance on whether or not we're gonna live through the day or not because we're letting all these crooks out of jail, and next thing you know, they get the prize, and the prize is us. Okay, so the mayor's not responsible for that. The mayor is not responsible for letting people out of jail. Okay, that's the judicial system who give these judges. Now, I think we can blame the judges, and I'm gonna find out which judge did this. Because we don't need to put him back in office. Whoever the hell it is, him, her, whoever it is, we don't need to put them back in office. So we'll find out. I'll find out which judge let him out. 4 days later, $60,000. If nothing else, give him a $600,000 bond. This is ridiculous. So we're the lottery, okay? And the bet is, do we make it home that night? Okay, if somebody's not going to come up and knock us in the head or shoot at us going down the street, we don't even know who they are. They don't know who we are. These people have no conscience. Okay, and so the question is, how do you let somebody out 4 days later when we got people in the hospital there's still a possibility that some of them may pass on because of the injuries they received by these people? It makes no sense. So blame Stephen for the things he's to blame for. But he's not to blame for this letting people out of jail. Okay, that's not his call. That's the call on the legislature and the judge, because the judge has discretion. Okay, unless whoever this judge was, unless he really didn't think this person was a danger, well, how could you not think that? How could you not think that? But we're going to find out who the judge was to let him out on 4 days after he get in jail. Okay, let me finish this right quick, then we'll go to some calls and stuff like that.
Anybody else is what solutions have been proposed? What solutions have been initiated at the state level, even as mayors have sought to have more issues, whether it's a NIAS law or whether it's common sense gun reform laws, and other issues regarding bail and bond reform. Those are things that we shouldn't wait for the next mass shooting to happen.
True.
Something like this, where it's an attempted murder, for that to be a $60,000 bond to be the ceiling, that's a slap in the face to the victims. It's a slap in the face of this community and everybody involved.
And I believe that if the mayor had anything to do with this, he wouldn't have let this kid out here with $60,000 bond. He wouldn't have done that. Okay, that's what he's saying right now. He wouldn't have done that. And it is a slap in the face.
You got to think through, how do you do things proactively when it comes to these type of legislative matters as opposed to reactively. Any other questions?
Got any microphones back there?
Yeah, I think one thing you'll see is, of course, this made us reevaluate a lot of things. And one of the things that we've done is we have upped our patrols downtown. In fact, even changing some of the locations of where some of our officers are actually posting, both in their vehicles and on foot. In fact, one thing I mentioned at the meeting you were talking about.
Anyway, enough of that one. The bottom line is that we need more police officers, and I don't know why we can't seem to get more police, but it seems to be something that we have a hard time. We have a hard time doing getting police officers. Okay, the sheriff, and that's what I don't understand. The sheriff doesn't have a problem getting people, and so I don't understand why we have a problem of getting people. I don't get that. I just don't, because I mean, it used to be something special to to be a police person. It used to be. I don't know, but in this case here, you see why. Wait a minute, you're gonna go out there, go in some of the darkest crevices of town, and you put people in jail. You put your butt on the line, and then you turn around and let them go. And then they turn around often and commit crimes, even worse crimes, while they are on bond. Okay, I mean, while they are on bond, they do all kind of terrible things. Anyway, so that's the case. That's the case on that one. So okay, again, now Don, you can call and say what you got to say, because I don't think that the blaming Stephen for this one is not the way to go. Okay, I think he's just as upset. And where's the district attorney and attorney general? They should be asking legislators for help. And I thought this Aniah's law was supposed to take care of some of that, but obviously not. Well, here's what I want to know: what judge let him out on a $60,000 bond? That's what we're gonna find out. Yeah, Don.
The chickens have come home to roost. Don't tell me that little lying mayor is not pushed for cashless bail. The black mayors y'all have elected have pushed for no bail. And now you're going to start acting like you want the little thieves to stay in jail. Well, the mayor won't even write traffic tickets in Montgomery because social justice warriors don't want anybody in traffic court. If you don't enforce any laws, then none of them will get enforced. It's stupid for you to come up and say this mayor has nothing to do with it. But all the time we've heard about blacks being in jail in over proportionate amount. It's so stupid and ignorant.
Well, wait a minute. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I think the mayor's been kind of soft on some of his positions. Sometimes I think he has been. He's soft on this panhandling thing. Because we got a law, and which is what I told him when they even on the air. If you allow people to break the small laws, at some point they'll be breaking more laws and bigger laws, and that it seems that's where we are right now in the city of Montgomery, because you can. They got that's freedom of speech. I don't know who in the hell ever came up with that idea that begging people on the side of the road is a right. It's a freedom of speech. Well then I know who came up with this. Okay, then we got afraid of the SPLC and hell, even the FBI said we're not going to talk to y'all anymore. The FBI has stopped talking to the SPLC. Oh, let me see here. Yeah, bud.
Good morning, Kevin.
Morning.
Okay, for your last caller that just called in. Let me cut my truck off real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
The mayor, the executive branch of the government, can only enforce the laws, and the judiciary, the judges, can only rule on the laws that the legislative branch creates. All the bail bonds. Listen, the bond for capital murder in Montgomery is the same bond amount in Birmingham, in Auburn, in Mobile, in Wetumpka. Most of shows it's all set by the legislature. And so, I mean, I'm going to put it where the goats can get to it. We have a supermajority of Republicans in the House and Senate in Alabama. The Republicans have set such ridiculous, absurdly low bond amounts. I mean, to me, if you're arrested for, say, capital murder, and you're indicted on capital murder, there should be no bond amount. If maybe you get indicted or arrested for second-degree murder, okay, $500,000 cash bond amount. Manslaughter, $250,000 cash bond amount. But, you know, it has nothing to do with Mayor Reed. I mean, listen, I praise Mayor Reed when he does good, and I kick his ass when I think I disagree with him. I mean, I'm an equal opportunity hater. You know me.
Mm-hmm.
But Mayor Reed has nothing to do when you can have somebody that was involved, potentially, so-called, maybe, involved in a mass shooting in downtown Montgomery 2 weekends ago.
Mm-hmm.
The Mayor Reed can't do jack squat about that.
Yeah. No, he can't.
And neither can the judges.
Mm-hmm. Now, Don wants to blame him for everything. Listen, he got his blame. He's not getting off the hook, but let's blame him for what he is responsible for. And he's not responsible for allowing people to get out of jail on a $60,000 bond.
No, the actual blame rests on the Republicans. And I'm a conservative. I'm an independent, registered independent. But the blame in this case rests on the Alabama Republicans in the House and Senate. Bottom line, Governor Ivey did, let's say, let's have a special session, and let's look at what would be allowed to be bonded and what those amounts will be, but she chooses not to. Or that could come up in the regular session. But what Republicans, I hate to say it, are going to do that. And I think they need to be greatly increased to protect both white, black, Hispanic, Asians, all the citizens of Alabama. Because if you can be a suspect in a downtown shooting where 2 died, 5, I think, are still in critical. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know how many.
And maybe another 20 or 30 could have been murdered, but by the grace of God, they were not.
Yeah, that's true.
And so Alabama Republicans need to get off their ass and let's change the law to take care of all these citizens of Alabama. I mean, in your previous caller, you're a stupid SOB if you honestly think Mayor Reed can somehow wave a magical wand and dictate what the bonds amount. I mean, get your head out of your ass and learn the law. That's all I can say.
All right. Hey, appreciate it. Yeah, that's true. I mean, so listen, Reed got his own issues, but this is not one of them. And you know who this issue belongs to? Let me tell you who this issue belongs to. It belongs to Philip Insler, Reed Ingram, Patrice McClammy, Tashina Morris, Kenyatta Hassel, Kelvin Lawrence, who don't really live in Montgomery, and Chris Sales, who don't really live in Montgomery. Okay, Philip Insler is it's in the House of Representatives. He represents District number 74. Reed Ingram, a Republican, represents 75. Patrice McClammy, a Democrat, represents 76. Tashina Morris represents District 77. Kelvin Lawrence represents 69, which is based over there in Autaugerville and places like that. I don't even know why they even represent it. They got 3 people they represent in Montgomery. Chris Sales, another guy, represents District 90. Okay, so none of these people, these are the people. Okay, these are the people. Okay, that are responsible to us for these lax laws that that allowed this man to get out. And the judge, let me find out who the judge was, because I need to know. I really need to know who the judge was who did this, and he's on there someplace. Anyway, and State Senator, of course, Will Barfoot is a senator. State Senator Kirk Hatcher. It represents District 26. And so all of these people are the people who supposedly represent Montgomery. And these are the same people you hold accountable, because we ain't got no lottery too. So these are the people, and most of you don't even know who represents you, because you can care less most of the time. And I don't blame you for that, because they don't really make themselves very well known too often. But these are the people. These are the people right here. Senator Will Barfoot, State Senator Kirk Hatcher, State House Representative Philip Ensler, who's leaving, and State House Reed Ingram, State House Patrice McClammy, State House Tashina Morris, State House Kenyatta Hassel, State House Kelvin Lawrence, and State House Chris Sales. Now, Lawrence and Sales don't even live nowhere near Montgomery. I don't even know. The reason why those two are there, we got a white guy who don't belong in our representative page, and a black guy who don't belong. But they get to do the hard water things for our representatives. I'm gonna tell you why we can blame the judge. There's a minimum number, but that doesn't mean there's a maximum. Okay, that's what it means. I mean he has discretion. We got two people already dead, a couple in the hospital, and this guy evidently had done something else before anyway. So we blaming the judge, because rather than use that discretion to look out after the public, he seemed to take every advantage of that discretion to send those evil things back on the streets of Montgomery. There's a minimum, and I think that minimum is that $60,000. That's why we blame the judge. Okay. The judge doesn't have to allow him out on $60,000 bond. He could give him a hell of a lot more, and make it a climb, make it a high climb in order to walk these streets. There's a price to pay for when you do the things these people have done. There's a price to pay, and I hate that they're young, that they ruin their lives, but they're ruining other people's lives. Okay. Yes. All those people I named were voted in. And most people, especially black folks, we vote people in because they belong to a party. Not because they actually do anything, not because they actually fight for anything, but because they belong to a Democratic party. That's what we do. And I'm not saying Republicans don't do the same, but Republicans at least on crime, for the most case, a little bit tougher than Democrats are. Okay, his daddy wasn't there. I'm sorry about that. I apologize for that. Daddy wasn't home, and so he didn't finish. He didn't eat good meals every day. So is that why he's doing what he's doing? Well, let's put him in prison so he can get to eat every day. Okay, he ain't have a place to stay. Hey, we can take care of that too. As a matter of fact, the governor right now is coming up with a hotel called Prison with 4,200 beds in it. So I'm thinking we'll give you a place to stay and something to eat. I mean, this is ridiculous. And we got to blame the judge is the one who gave him such a low bail bond that he was able to get out and walk the streets. Okay, I think he probably gave him the minimum. Okay, as opposed to the maximum bond. And so I'm somewhat, I'm perturbed. I mean, everybody, when you put these people back on the street, you put everybody's life in jeopardy. They've already shown that they have a predisposition to commit violence. And we're going to put them back out on the street without an ankle monitor or bracelet or anything so people know exactly where they are? I mean, yeah, we're blaming the judge for this. And as soon as I find out who it is, we're going to tell everybody. Because somebody did this. I mean, somebody did. 4 days after you find him, see, this guy didn't turn himself in. See, he didn't all of a sudden get a case of I'm feeling really bad about what I did or what I was involved in. They had to find him. Okay. And then, and you know, and anybody that will shoot randomly in a crowd of hundreds of people will shoot them too, will shoot the cops too. So to put their butt on the line and go get them, and some judge, I'm going to find out who this judge, I'm telling you, I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out today who the judge is for this, because he don't need to go back in office. I'm sorry. He don't need to go, whoever it is. I hope it ain't one of my favorite judges, though. but if it is, so be it. One of my favorite judges down there, Judge Gaines and Judge Westery. But I think this was a felony, so this had to be one of these judges in the county. I guess one not of our I don't know anybody on the whatever judges those people are. But I don't think this was this a municipal judge that did this? I'm not sure. But I'll find out. But we'll find out. Oh yeah, we'll find. I will find out who. Yeah. Let me. Where my lawyer representative is anyway. Where's Mickey at? I got to ask him a question, because this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Anyway, the number's here if you want to give us a call. If you disagree, then that's fine. You can disagree, man. Okay. But we're gonna find out who the judge has left him. Okay. What is this? Mike said, if I was a criminal, I'll vote Republican. I'll get to carry a gun, get a bail when I get arrested, and get to have my phone while I'm in prison. well, I don't know if that's their philosophy or not. Well, and listen, I hear you. I by me finding out, but I think we as long as we know which judges are so weak on crime that they don't need to be put back in there. But hey, people gonna vote for who they want to vote for. But I think the judge does have some blame in this one. I think he does have some blame in this one. You don't have to let people out on $60,000 bond. Okay, you just don't have to. You got to let them out. You got to let them out, because that's our Constitution. That Constitution, like many people have died for, many have been injured for, many are sick today because of their duty to this country. We want people to follow it. Okay, we want people to follow. We want people to, you shouldn't be endangered by the rules of our Constitution. Your life shouldn't be in danger because some judge decides. Oh, really? Ooh, somebody just text me something there. I'm not sure if it's true or not, so we're gonna find out that later too. So anyway, the numbers here. What are the numbers here? Because I can't even remember what they are. Okay, 521-2963. And there are other things to talk about too. There are. I just thought I'd give you but y'all need to. Yeah, these are the people who are responsible for these minimum and maximum. Do you really believe that the maximum bond would be $60,000 on a murder case? Do we really think that's the maximum you can go on a murder charge? 60,000? I mean, that's not. I think on a $60,000 bond, I think you have to come up with 10% or 15% of the bond. I'm not really sure. Fortunately, I've never been in jail. Okay, I was taken down there one time years and years and years ago, but I never been behind bars, so I don't really know what that is. And my sons have never been in jail, and so I don't really know what that is. But we can find that out too. Okay, we can find that out too. What the maximum bond is, because somebody out there been in jail. They know. Okay, well, let me go. $60K is the maximum. Go look at the bond schedule. Okay, really? Well then, hell, there's a problem. Then that problem then goes to all these representatives that whose name I just called. Especially the Democrats, who where most of all the crime is in this city anyway, is in Democratic areas. And of course, that would be McClammy, Tashina Morris, Kenyatta Hassel, Kelvin Lawrence. Okay, they're the ones. And on the state side, that would be Kirk Hatcher. On the Senate side, that'd be Kirk Hatcher and Philip Ensler. Okay, and the House side would be Reed Ingram. Okay, yeah, and all these folks. So I mean, so somebody has still got a responsibility to the people here. Okay, and if it's just 60, if that's the maximum or is that the minimum? Wow. I mean, you see, common sense would say, well, that's crazy. So you can almost kill somebody and get out of jail with $6,000. I mean, all you gotta do is sell some of that jewelry they be walking around with. You got that. Wow. Well, then if that in fact is, if I find this to be true, then I won't even tell the guy's name. If I find that to be true, if I find this to be true, that the maximum bond for attempted murder is $60,000. Well, we'll see. Then I don't blame him. Then I have to blame the state and the state representatives for the House and the state Senate, because these people are the ones who make the laws. So Willie, I'm gonna hold off on that because you may be right. If they're following the law set by the legislatures, then so be it. Then our lives ain't worth a whole hell of a lot, are they? I mean, you can sell marijuana. You can sell marijuana and get a higher bond than killing people or almost killing people. Is that the way this? Is that the way this works in America today? Marijuana is not dangerous. Guns are, and killing people certainly dangerous. So we think more of the violation of marijuana than we do people dying. Wow. Interesting. Anyway, I gotta take my little milk break right quick, and so I'll be back in a few minutes. So you guys just hang loose, and because I'm flabbergasted at this information I'm getting this morning, because man, this is $60,000, the maximum bail you can do. Okay. Mary Jane is not, listen, marijuana is not as dangerous as people with guns. Okay. It's not as dangerous as people. Over the long haul, it may be more intrinsically difficult to deal with. But listen, okay, I got two guys sitting on the corner, one with a gun, one with a marijuana stick. I'll leave the guy with the marijuana stick all day long and watch him smoke it. Okay. But I'm not sure that it's more dangerous than a gun. Mary Jane's not. As a matter of fact, Mary Jane actually can help people with cancer. So there is some. Oh, I know you didn't say that, but still, you insinuated that it was dangerous, and it is dangerous to some people. I was not to my brothers used to smoke it. It wasn't dangerous. They seem to made them hungry. I think they give you the munchies, but that's what you should tell me. But I never tried it yet. But it ain't too late. I can try it if I need to, just to be able to come back on the air and tell you what it is. So I'll come on there one day. Yeah, that's how they do it. That's what, because that right there, that's when you get into the last little roach. I mean, you just gotta smoke that stuff. I've never done it, but it must be, if you gotta smoke it like this, because you got to. If you got to do that, then that means that's some good stuff right there. Okay. So I can't do it. Anyway, let us take a little break. Go get my traditional glass of milk, and I shall return uno momento.
We change the world and history right here where we're from. It's new beginning to you and me, 'cause we're not done. And I'll see it. And I'll see it. And I'll see it. when I die.
I appreciate that.
Okay, we're back. Hey, thank you guys for hanging loose right there. Let me see. In Alabama, bail amounts for murder are guided by a bail schedule set by the state legislature and court rules, but judges have discretion to adjust amounts based on the case circumstances. Okay, minimum bail recommendations for murder. I can't believe this. That's the minimum, $15,000. But historically, bail amounts for murder often range between around $15,000 to $75,000, according to the Alabama bond schedule. So evidently, you go to your bail's higher for marijuana than it is killing people in this state. Okay, maximum bail for murder was recently increased so the maximum bail. Here we go. I knew there was more to this story. The maximum bail was increased from $150,000 to $1.5 million by the Alabama Supreme Court. This change was approved to better address public safety concerns and prevent dangerous defendants from being released too early before trial. Well, hey, I knew I was right. I'm brilliant. I'm just telling you. I knew that was too low. Okay. The maximum is $1.5 million. Okay, for cases like this, where people not only have they done this, they've done other things. Okay, but because it was at $150,000, and now it's $1.5 million in the Alabama Supreme Court. This change was approved to better address public safety concerns and prevent dangerous defendants from being released too easily before trial. Well, okay, again, logic and reason would dictate. Sure, there's a minimum. Okay, there's a minimum, and the minimum is $15,000. Okay. But he said normally the bail in the state of Alabama is around $15,000 to $75,000. But again, the people, the legislator heard our people's cry about why are we letting these people, because a lot of these guys are picked up. They're picked up later on. Okay, they're picked up later on bond. Yeah. Okay, so Willie, y'all wrong. Okay, y'all wrong. Okay. $1.5 million by the Alabama Supreme Court said the change was approved. Listen again. The change was approved to better address public safety concerns and prevent dangerous defendants from being released too early before trial. I rest my case. Yo. I rest my case. Yo. Rest my case. I don't know why that's keep going. But what?
Why was he giving a bail anyway?
Well, brother, I don't know. That's what everybody.
Most of the time when people do these heinous crimes, they don't give them a damn bail at all. Why did they give them a bail at all?
Well, that's why they came up with Aniah's law. Okay, they came with Aniah's law because it's about no bond. Okay, after that little girl was killed, which allows no bond detention for violent crimes, including murder. This law gives
period.
Yeah, this
problem. So this why this boy get a bail?
Well, that's something we got to ask the judge when I find out who it is. Okay.
See, but the judge, did he break the law or follow the law?
Well, I mean,
when they say no, you're lost, so that didn't apply to his office as well.
Well, that's what the governor said. They signed Aniah's law because of this kind of situation. They didn't want to people, but we'll find.
Well, they didn't.
I'm gonna find out who
take his judge license away if he's breaking the damn law.
Well, he didn't break the law. The minimum is.
Well, if he's not following the Aniah law, so he broke the law. He didn't follow protocol.
Well, the minimum is $15,000.
That's what I'm saying. No bail. I mean, no bail. Okay, I don't know no damn minimum and this and that.
But it don't say no. You get a bail, but the judge.
He shouldn't get one. Period. No bail. I mean, no bail. Right?
I agree with you. But if you make it $1.5 million, he ain't getting out. There
shouldn't be no number. What I'm saying, no mean no.
Well, but the Constitution is still with us.
It didn't say $1 million. It didn't say 500. It said no.
No, it don't say that. No, it don't.
What that was supposed to mean? Yeah, I don't.
No, it don't.
Oh, they using fancy words with us. No, don't really mean no.
So he gave him the bail within guidelines. But he went almost to the bottom of the floor to do it rather than the maximum. So we don't know if he's gonna show up for court or not. Okay, I wouldn't.
Yeah, he probably would go somewhere, run out and run away if they don't have him jack it down. So that way, jack it down.
Because I'd be gone. I'd be out of
here. I'd be blame the mayor for that one, y'all. Hey,
no. There you go.
I'm talking about some of these damn callers, some of these crazy ass callers.
Yeah.
Blame the mayor.
Yeah. The mayor ain't got nothing to do with this. All right. Appreciate it. Yeah. The mayor doesn't have anything to do with this. This one is on the judge, whoever the judge was. And again, let me explain what this thing says. It says minimum bail for murder is $15,000. Typical range, though, before 2022 was $15,000 to $75,000. The maximum bail since 2022 is $1.5 million. No bail allowed cases, capital felony murder cases with pretrial detention under Aniah's law. So evidently, he could have kept him in there with no bail. Okay. Judges can set bail lower or higher or deny bail depending on the facts. These judges have lots of discretion. So we're going to find out who the judge on this one was, who set this bail so low. Let these people walk out of jail, but they can go up to $1.5 million in bail in the state of Alabama for murder. Okay. And these guys were charged with that. So I don't get it. Okay. I don't. What is the minimum bail amount recommended for murder in Alabama? Well, I just told you what it was. It was I think $15,000. Okay. But anyway, so much for that. We'll find out if any discretion by the judge any discretion by the judge to larger bail amount. Well, you can go up to $1.5 million and ain't nobody, and poor folks won't be getting out of jail on that one. Okay. I'm just saying. So I don't know why they always go, you don't have to, okay, right. But even if you had to put, what's 10% of $1.5 million? How many people? The 10%, I believe, of 60,000 is $6,000, I believe. Well, 10% of 1.5 million. I think it'd be like, wouldn't it be like when you have to come up with Let me ask Siri right quick. Hey, Siri, what is 10% of $1.5 million?
10% times $1,500,000 is $150,000.
Thank you very much. I knew I was right, but I just had to check it. So how many people are going to walk downtown with $150,000 and put their house up, their clothes up, their kids up, and everybody else for somebody who did something like that? So his bond should have been $150,000. Okay, that's what the bond should have been, $150,000 on a $1.5 million bail. His bond should have been $150,000. Now, ain't too many people in Montgomery got that kind of money to let somebody out of jail. Now, what happens if he does something else while he's on? I think we hold the judge personally responsible. Okay, he did not have to let people out of jail on that lower bond, that lower bail. He didn't have to do that. He had the discretion to go up to $1.5 million. Okay, but they didn't do it because we want him to get out of jail. We don't want to treat him. We don't want to treat them bad. Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. We need to bring back the phone book treatment, okay, of people sometimes. Some of these kids they're not ever going to figure this out, okay? But anyway, moving right along to other things. But so we know, just so you know, that the maximum, how do you spell maximum? Maximum. Okay. BAIL in Alabama is, I'm gonna write this down so y'all can read, is 1.5 million. Okay. Put that in there, right? Million dollars. Okay. DOLLARS. Okay. $1.5 million is the maximum bail in Alabama. So let's not go with this. Let's not keep going with this. Well, he could have went. No, I'm sorry. Hey Siri, who's the judge for this low bond case, murder case? I'm gonna find that out today. Okay. So the maximum bail in Alabama is $1.5 million. The minimum bail is around $75,000 for a minimum bond is about bail is about $75,000. So anyway, so we're gonna find out who gave this guy such a low bond. Okay, because I don't understand it. Now I gave y'all who your legislators are, and they did do something about it. Okay, they did something about it because it didn't used to be this low. This high. Minimum bail recommended for murder is $15,000 historically, but bail amounts for murder often started around $15,000 to $75,000, according to the Alabama bond schedule. Maximum bail for murder was recently increased, I think 2022, under this case of Anaya, that little child that was killed, from $150,000 to $1.5 million by the Alabama Supreme Court. So somebody he wasn't charged with murder. What's the difference? Attempted murder. I'm sorry. No, bail for murder was recently increased. Okay. Well, just to be fair, okay. Just to be fair, we'll put we'll put what is the minimum bail for attempted murder? Okay, what's the bail for attempted? Okay. In Alabama. Now let me see. Hold on. Let me ask Siri. Hey Siri, what is the minimum bail for attempted murder in the state of Alabama? She's looking it up right now. Okay.
In Alabama, attempted murder is classified as a Class A felony, with recommended bail amounts ranging from $10,000 to $60,000. However, judges have discretion to set bail amounts outside this range, based on factors like the severity of the offense and the defendant's criminal history. Additionally, under Aeneas law, certain serious offenses, including attempted murder, may result in bail being denied if the prosecution demonstrates that no conditions of release can ensure public safety or the defendant's appearance in court. That was from ChatGPT. Check important info for mistakes.
So evidently, I'm still right. The judge has the authority to make that bail higher if he feels that there's still a threat to the community. And anybody that's on bail, that's on out on bond, that commits another crime while they're on bond is a threat to the community. Okay? Anybody who shoots, that uses our people as a target range, is a threat to society. Anybody. So it seems to me that the judges gave the minimum they could do as opposed to the maximum they can do. And I'm going to find out who the judge was who did this one, because we need to make sure he does not end back in the court. I'm just sorry. I don't think that's a municipal. Was that a municipal? Oh, I'll find out. I'll find out. Was it a municipal judge or was it a one of them judges in the county building? I don't know who it was. I think it'd probably be I think it'll probably be in the county. I think the municipal courts don't deal with felony cases, do they? I think they deal with misdemeanors and traffic and things of that nature. But we'll find out. I'll find out who it was. Yeah, I'll find out who it was. Yeah. Surely will. Anyway, the number's here if you want to give us a call. We'd love to talk to you, whatever on your mind. I mean, you can disagree with me if you want to. So he was charged with attempted murder. That's true. But attempted murder doesn't mean you get out for $60,000. According to the law, the judges have discretion. And why would a judge take the lowest bail? Yeah, the county judge would deal with that's what I thought. Okay, so somebody over in that county courthouse made this ruling to give this young man this low bail so he can walk the streets of Montgomery right now. So somebody gave it to him. I don't know, I don't know who or whatever, but I'm gonna find out who did. I'm just gonna walk down there and ask the question, because we need to know. That person does not need to be back in office. Unless that was his son, then okay, I understand little daddy love there, but even then, I wouldn't understand it very much. But if that wasn't his son, then why in the world would he do such a thing? Why would he put that person back in the streets of Montgomery to possibly? Because this is not his first rodeo. Okay, this is not his first rodeo. He's done other things, and most of these kids are done. And what's so sad about this? These kids are 19, 18, 20, 21, 22 years old. I mean, at that age, there are a lot of things you can do with your life. A lot of things you can do with your life besides this. And here's the question. Here's the question. Who is responsible? Let's hold the mayor responsible when it's something he has purview over. He has no purview over this. Okay, so let's slap him around. When he deserves slapping from the citizen, but he don't deserve any blame on this one. Neither does the police chief. They did their due diligence. They found the perpetrator, and the judge let him go in the streets. So we just need to find out who the judge is. And then if he tells us this thing about the Constitution, well, the Alabama Constitution and these laws have been amended, and they are able to. And the Supreme Court has ruled $1.5 million you can give people. So I'm just saying, we I'm sorry, that dog ain't gonna hunt. Okay, that dog. Now let's talk about mass shootings. Yesterday in Atlanta, another mass shooting was staved off because at the airport, a guy's friend picked up the telephone and called the police because he knew this guy was up to no good. Okay. And thank God he called the police, because another mass shooting was diverted. Police found the felon inside the airport with his gun, his AR-15, while they searching his car, because evidently the guy was in the airport to see how he was going to do this dastardly deed. The felon did a FaceTime call telling family his plan to shoot up the Atlanta airport. Someone reportedly notified the police, his family, and then found the suspect's car outside the airport. It was blocking traffic. So that's a guy right there with a mental disease. Okay. First of all, you're going to call people and tell them what you're going to do, which we appreciate that because you probably save some lives. Okay. Now let's talk about the other controversial thing that is on the that's been on the agenda the last couple of days, and that's the mayor wanting to put Mr. Watkins on his team. I personally don't have a problem with it, but I knew that it was going to be the guy. Evidently, the guy's paid his dues. You know, listen, we cannot say that we are Christian people because that's around here. We got 600 churches in Montgomery, and without giving people a second chance. Okay, I just think we can't. My only concern with the mayor's plan is he qualified? Is he qualified to do the job? Okay, is he qualified to do the job? If he's qualified to do the job, then why not let him do the job? Elections have consequences. The mayor gets to pick who he wants. Now the personnel board don't have to get him and I think the personnel board, the only reason why you tell me, Willie, if this is true or not, the only reason why he has to go for the personnel board because he wants to pay him outside the normal fee pay schedule. Is that what this is all about? Okay. But I think the mayor should be able to hire who he wants to hire. And we all make mistakes, and the only mistake that we don't know about is the one you ain't told us about. So we all got them. We all done stupid things in life. Okay, we all have. Does that mean, like, I can't stand? I know a guy that's 42 years old. When he was 17, he had sex with a 15-year-old, and now he's 42, and now they still got him on the sexual register thing. Really? Is this? I mean, 17 and 15. What's the difference between those ages? Not very much. In the state of Alabama, did you know you can get married at the age of 14 years old? And if you believe that a 14-year-old can get married and ain't gonna have sex, y'all must be crazy and smoking dope. Because yes, so we are duplicitous in our laws and our implementation of these laws. Okay, so we're gonna hold against people something that they did. We hold each other more accountable than God holds us to. Okay, I'm just let the man get his people. Hell, he may do us a whole lot better than people who've never made a mistake. At least never made a mistake out in the open. Okay, maybe I personally don't have a problem with them hiring who. Elections have consequences. The mayor is the mayor, and I ain't kissing his buddy like what's on. I get on him too. Okay, when he does something crazy, I think it's crazy, and we talk about it. I bring him on the show. We talk about it. But I'm not against him. Hire who he wants to. Hire who you want. You're the mayor, but just make sure that person you hire can actually do the job. And I think Mr. Watkins has had a record actually of doing pretty good in the business arena. Okay. Okay. Checks and what do you mean checks and balances? Okay. Well, yeah, but what's this got to do with checks? I think it's he wants to pay him $120,000, and I think somebody told me that the fee schedule was not that high. Okay, because why would the personnel board have to get involved in that? But I don't know. That's not my call. Well, Lord have mercy. If I seen a check making that kind of money, I'd be, man, you had to put me in the hospital. Wow, you're gonna pay me? I'd be thinking I'm guilty. I owe them some money back. So I never made that kind of money. Not because I couldn't have, but because I didn't. I had a choice in life when I got out the Army. I could do what I had to do, or do what I wanted to do. And I decided to do what I wanted to do, and that's radio. And unfortunately, I got in it right when the salaries were going down rather than up. Because it wasn't no big deal to make $150,000 a year in radio. It was no big deal, except when it got to me. Of course, I never had any experience in radio when I first got into it. But Marco gave me a shot, and I wrote it for 30 years. That one shot. So I think we do what we have to do. He ran cash and checks in West Montgomery. Okay, cash and checks in West Montgomery. and didn't they shut them down? Yeah, I don't know. I think that business just dissolved because people got tired of paying exorbitant amount of interest on their that money. Like checking the cash and stuff like that. Because the fee was outrageous. But again, most people, and just let's just be fair. Most people that have to go to people like that have already screwed everybody else, and they can't get no money out of anybody. They can't get money out of the bank. They can't get money from their parents. They can't get money from their brothers and sisters. The only people they can get money from is cash and checks, and they taking a chance that they'll never get their money back anyway. So listen, you gotta pay. Right? Okay, he sold it. Okay, so he sold it at a good time, I guess. So he wasn't shut down. Okay, so again, I'm all for the mayor having the privilege to hire who he wants to. So it doesn't. So I'm still trying to figure out why the personnel board. I think they're involved because of the pay scale that he wants to start them at. Okay, I think that's what. I think that's what it is, but I'm not exactly sure because I never made that kind of money. Yeah. Listen. Those businesses are predatory. But they're predatory because we have already screwed somebody already, and we don't have any place else to go. Like I worked for Rent-A-Center for a year. You're talking about a company that sticks the meat to you. I worked for Rent-A-Center. I mean, we would sell when I was in Hawaii. I worked and I sold a VCR for a guy. We had already made $3,000 off of it, and the guy missed one payment, and he didn't have any money left. They made me go pick it up. They made me they made me go pick it up, and I just felt so bad for it. So people who have messed up their credit, people who are for whatever reason, like me, they could have lost their job. Been on the job for 30 years or 20 something years, and all of a sudden, you have no job anymore. Now that's our fault too because we don't save any money. Okay, it's hard to save money though in Hawaii because even back in the 90s. It was high as hell to live over there. And so most people over there were just trying to make it. And you run out of money and you lose your job. Everything's already too high. You're on a string as it is. And sometimes, you can't get any money, and so you have to go to these people. And these people are taking a chance on you. You can call them predatory if you want to, but they're taking a chance on you. Because they know the chances of you getting paid back is probably less than 50-50. Okay, because you obviously can't get money from the bank. Your parents won't loan it to you. Your brother won't loan it to you. Your sister won't loan it to you. Your friends won't loan it to you. So now you got to go to somebody who's willing to take a chance on you. Well, they're gonna get paid for taking that chance. So I'm not. As a matter of fact, hell, I thought it was a great idea until I had to go to one time. I think it was a great idea because I had messed up my credit. I had messed up everything. And so that's just the way it goes sometimes. So you pay for being stupid, and you pay twice. You pay once coming, and then you pay once leaving. So everybody gets screwed at some point in time when your credit gets all screwed up. Okay, that's just one of the things of life. Okay, I'm just saying it's one of the things of life. Predatory loan shark. And wait. You know what's really predatory? You know what's really predatory, Greg? Alabama Power. Okay, Alabama Power is predatory. Because I still can't figure out how grandma and them on the other side of town with a little bitty house, her bill is $500 a month. Now, because she doesn't have insulation, and they'll cut off your lights on you no matter who you are. So I think Alabama Power is worse than any predatory lenders that there is because we need lights. Okay, so let's not talk about predatory. Predatory is Alabama Power, okay, who turn off your lights in a second. They don't care who you are, how cold it is, how hot it is. They don't care. You can be somebody living on $500 a month. They will still come turn your lights off, and then charge you an additional fee to come turn them back on when you didn't have the money to pay the bill the first time. So let's not. Don't make me go there. Okay, don't make me go there. Okay, No. I think Alabama Power, Alabama Power, and some of these utilities around here, and they make so much. I found out last couple weekends ago that when they raise the fee up for the summer, most of that money goes to the corporate Southern. It's called the Southern Company. Most of that money goes to them for what you call bonuses. So while you paying somebody for a bonus, you paying somebody for a bonus at the expense of people who have a hard time paying their bill already. So let's not even go to predatory. Okay, let's not even go there. Okay, the first VCR was high in grad school for $13. Yeah, $100. Yeah, woo, man, that's a long time ago. Good investment? I don't know if it's a good investment or not. But yeah, it was. But I made $3,000 for one, and we sold it to this guy. We should have just let him keep it, but they wouldn't let me let him keep it. I had to go back and pick it. I had to go back and pick it up. Okay. You haven't spoke on the rebuild at the White House. Hey, the White House needs to look good. That represents us as a nation. It needs to look good. We need gold toilets in there and stuff like that. Okay. How many times have you told us? Oh, I used to have an 850 credit score. I don't anymore. I mean, when a man comes in and tell you, have you been working on the job for 30 years and you don't have a job anymore? And I ain't had a real job in a year. So hey, credit goes down. I ain't mad. I ain't feeling bad. I paid all my bills and everything on time and everything. But when you and again, I'm like everybody else. I didn't really save any money. I'm just living from payday to payday, like most people do. So until I learned that I started listening to Dave Ramsey, and Dave Ramsey helped the brother at least have a month of stuff, have a month worth of expenses in the bank. That's right. Just have a month. Just have 1 month. And then after that, get you a good tent and stay outside. I'm just saying that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Yeah, my credit was 850 for a minute. I don't think it was 850. It was 800. It wasn't 850. It was 800. But yeah, listen, I got the highest credit score anybody in my family ever had. So I'm feeling good about that 850 credit score. Matter of fact, it was so good. Just to show how good my credit used to be, it was so good that I'm sitting at a red light one day. I'm sitting at a red light, and I get a call on the phone from PNC Bank. PNC Bank, and they said, Kevin. Now, first of all, I didn't know how they knew my name, but they said, do you need some money? Yeah. Listen, Gary, you're absolutely right about that, brother. I honestly got. Well, let me finish telling you the story, then I'll tell you where he's going here. He said, "You need some money?" I said, "Absolutely, I need some money." Well, said, "Well, give us a couple minutes here and let's see if you qualify." It was one of them. Well, I qualified, right? Now I'm at the red light. By the time I get to the next red light, they have approved me for $20,000 cash loan. Now, I didn't believe it. So I went down to the nearest PNC Bank, gave them the information, and they handed a brother a check for $20,000. I said, "Y'all got the right guy?" He said, yeah. Well, I kept the money. I kept the money for 24 hours. Just because I had never seen that kind of money in my hand before for 24 hours. But reality, as I slept that night, the reality came in that I was going to have to pay that money back. So the next day, I went there and gave the money back. But it sure felt good to have good credit like that, where in 45 seconds, I was given a check. I was qualified for a check for $20,000. But money has to be paid back. And I got to thinking, let me take this money back to the bank. But they did give me a credit card, and I kept the credit card just for the hell of it. But I turned it back in too. Because as a matter of fact, my goal this year is to have one credit card, just one, and no more, because I'm getting broke. And Gary, you're absolutely right. When I went to work for Cumulate, I saw the word 401k on a thing, but I and this is honest goodness truth. I thought that they gave those to management, because every time I watch the Wolf of Wall Street or whatever the case it was, some big executive always got a 401k as part of his package. So I'm thinking, oh, that's not for me. That's for the manager. I wasn't a manager when I got the Cumulus. I barely had my foot in the door. So I said, well, nah, I'm going to pass that up. And I never knew what. Now, let me be fair. I got there on 2001, January 2001. Do you believe that I actually thought for 1 second of time that I'd be there 23 years later, 24 years later? No. I'm in radio. You get a job, bam. The next thing you know, you're out of a job. And every year I was there, somebody got let go in December. Every year I was there, and I knew at some point, my December would come. I just didn't know it was gonna. Plus, I was on AM. I just didn't know it was gonna come in 2024. So, had I, and I'm gonna tell my son this, had I put a little bit of money in that 401k, if I really, because they never explained it to me. I mean, again, I'm not a financial wizard. Obviously, look at the cars I've been bought. But I just didn't know, and I could take my left shoe and kick myself in the butt all day long, and it wouldn't change a thing. It was my fault. I just didn't know what a 401k was. Again, that's white people language. 401k. What the hell is that? That's for the people who work in Wall Street, on the stock market. That wasn't for poor people like me. Okay, so I didn't do it. My bad. And so I don't know how much money I would have saved, but I would have saved a little bit. Out of 24 years, I'd have saved a little bit. But I can't go back and undo it. So now, that's 24. I'm with you. That's 24 years of interest. Listen, I just didn't think it was for regular people like me. I really thought it was for management. And again, what can I tell you? I studied philosophy in school. Evidently, I studied the wrong one. So I should have studied the one about money. But anyway, yeah. I mean, you just don't know how bad I feel sometimes, but knowing that I did that, I know that it was, and nobody ever talked to me about it. So I'm thinking, if it was for me, they would have talked to. They didn't talk to me about it. I just saw it on a piece of paper, and I said, "No, that's not for me." I mean, that's for management. Listen. How many people working at McDonald's got a 401k? You're right. Nobody, except maybe management gets a 401k. But regular folks, how many people with a broom and a mop getting a 401k? Yeah, I don't know. Not very many. Oh boy, here go telling a lie. Now you're lying. Only 0.01% in the country has a credit score like that. My credit score was that. Okay, that's how you can. I was in the top 0.1% then, 0.1%, because I got a $20,000 loan in 45 seconds riding down Fairview Avenue. Okay. So yeah, I did. Yeah, I was good, but that's only because I paid my bills. I didn't get too much. I never bought too many things that I couldn't afford or anything like that, and I just paid my bills. And I didn't have a whole lot of things. I didn't have a whole lot of things that I owed anybody. So yeah, I got the money. Yeah, you don't believe me? How much you want to put? Now you already owe me. You already owe me for something already, Don. You already owe me for something already. I forgot what it was we betted on, but you lost, and so I'm still waiting for my chicken dinner. Okay. But that's absolutely right. That is 24 years of interest that I just gave away. And Lord have mercy, there are a lot of things in life you can get back. But the one thing you can never get back is time. And hey, so I tell my son, if my son ever asks, if he ever go gets a job and said, do they have a 401k? I'm going to tell him, put something in it because you never know how long you're going to be there. So if you don't go down, as a matter of fact, I think the military now is paying that way. I don't think you get a retirement. From what I understand, the retirement has changed to something like a 401k. Is there a fly in your room? I don't see no fly, man. You see a fly? I don't see one in the back of me. Anything? You see a fly there? I don't see one. Because I got something for him. I got a can of this that stuff. So he won't be flying long if he is flying behind me. Yeah, I didn't see the fly, but what can I say? Anyway, yesterday my son's 19th birthday, and he is 19 now, which means 19th birthday means okay. I got you. Yeah. 1/4 of class is not, well, it was more than a quarter, but I couldn't, but I did it while I was still on active duty, and I was trying to study that. And I was in a boat crew, as a matter of fact, at Fort Island in Honolulu. And so every time I had night classes, almost I had to go out on the field. I don't know why you such an ass. I just don't know why you're such an ass. But listen, if you're happy with you, I'm happy with you, brother. Okay, I'm happy if you're happy with you too, Don. You're a miserable guy. You need to get laid or something, brother. I'm just saying you need to you need a piece, because right now you kind of you're in need of something. I don't know exactly what it is, but maybe you need to get laid every once in a while. It'll take some of that sharpness off your disposition, brother. I'm just saying. Come on, man. See, there you go again. You need to go back there and have a talk with the old lady and say, listen, it's time. Okay, because you need some. I mean, you have got the worst disposition I have ever seen in a human being. I mean, you just, and I'm so used to you now, so it ain't no big deal. But you have got a you have a okay. So they got a thrift savings plan along with retirement. Really? Okay, they treating them pretty. So I guess you take some of your money, I guess, and you put it like that sounds like a 401k or something like that. And listen, brother, if you're gonna spell philosophy, spell it right. Okay, spell philosophy right. You spell it all wrong. Okay, and that's okay because you're not as brilliant as I am. So I'm going to And the guy said you must have studied a line because you're a master at that. Well, listen, I appreciate it. Well, at least it's good to be a master at something. Okay. Yeah, but no. But I got to get a little bit better at lying, because I told you one time I like you and I really don't. But I tolerate you, kind of like people have tolerated me over the years. Okay, well, I'm gonna find out what that's all about. Anyway, yeah. See, you can't spell philosophy that way, my friend. Okay, it ain't philosophy; it's philosophy. Okay, you ever heard of the Greek philosophers? Some of the great Greek philosophers. How about Thomas Paine? How about Aristotle, Plato? Some of the smartest people on the earth at that particular time in their culture. I study. That's why I'm so brilliant. That's why you don't bother me, because again, you can only reach so far down. You can only reach so far down to help people up. And I'm sorry, but you need to, after we get off this show today, you need to go back there and talk to the old lady. Said it's time. I think I need a little bit, because right now, man, I don't know when the last time you had some, but you sure need to get yourself something, because you got the worst disposition, and I met a lot of people in my life. Okay, I'm just saying, you just have a bad disposition, brother. I don't know what's wrong with you. Okay, but I ain't mad at you. That's all right. At least I got an old lady. Where's yours? Well, listen, having one and being able to do anything with it, that's a whole different thing. And maybe okay. Wait a minute. Let me apologize to you. Listen, I understand if you have some problems and you can't, and you can't, your soldier don't rise anymore. I feel you on that one. I feel you, and we're all going to get there one of these days. I feel you, and I understand your pain. I do. I understand your pain, and there have been times in my life where the soldier didn't get up sometimes, and so I know how you feel. So I'm just saying, but they got pills for that. Okay, so go get you some, and go to the. There's a clinic over here. I don't even want to give them a free plug, because but there's a place called Montgomery Men's Center. Yeah, it's over there right off Carmichael someplace. They'll check your PSA. They'll check your testosterone, because I think maybe you have a lack of testosterone too. But I still like you. Don't get me wrong. Okay. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Kevin.
Yes.
Don, and you know, is actually a good guy. He's get all in your mind. You see how much time you spent talking about him.
I know, but he needs a friend.
I know, but you can just get off that subject and talk about something. You know, you have a lot of callers that'll treat you in different ways.
Not
okay,
him. Not like he does. He really.
I know it, but he knows how to get. He's good at it. I know how to get up under people's skin too.
Yeah, he really
does that on purpose, and you fall for it.
Well, it's working.
All this time. At the end of the show, you spent talking about Don.
If it wasn't,
stop. You know what? Just be a godly person and just forgive him. Okay.
I do forgive him
because you do a lot of things. And let me tell you this: I am so sick of you.
Yeah.
Speaking on topics that you have no clue about. Now you sit on this. Watkins. Why do you saying that he's a good person for that position when you actually don't know?
No, I did not say that. I said that the mayor wants to. I said the only thing I'm worrying about is can he do the job? That's it. And
okay, what you need to do is find out what is the process. Now, there's some positions that the council has to approve.
Okay.
Now, you're acting like the mayor can do any and everything he wants to as far as hiring. That's not true.
Well, aren't those political positions?
So what you need, no, what I'm telling you, you need to find out.
Yeah.
Call personnel and talk to the personnel person for the city of Montgomery.
I'll do that.
She's a very intelligent woman and find out more information prior to even discussing the matter because you're sounding. I know about him. Yeah. I know about him and his daddy.
Okay.
You forgot what he did to those professional players. Charles Barkley was one of them.
I don't know anything about that. But
okay, why don't you Google that case?
But I'm just
find out more.
Right, but I'm talking about the mayor he's the mayor. He
can't do any and everything that he wants to. That's what I'm telling you. There's a line in the sand. He can't do anything and everything. So find out the process. Read Act 618. Become familiar with it, and you'll know what they can and cannot do.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it. I'll take your advice. Hey, listen, corrective criticism is always welcome. Again, I still believe that the mayor should be able to hire who he wants to. Now, but if there's a process, and that process means that he has to go through that board, then that's what you got to do. Okay. Okay. Anyway, let us. Oh, Don said that's his morning fun. Okay. I hate stolen valor. Me too. I hate it too. Man, you see, can you see in back of me right there? And I'm done with you for the day. You're just mad because you don't get a set of jump wings like me and you didn't serve in the Rangers or the 82nd Airborne and all this stuff. I understand what you're saying. I feel you that way. But we're going to be done with this one today. I'm with her on this one. Anyway, I got to go. Time to go. Time to go. We got 2 minutes left. So, what's everybody say? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. So I have got to go. Okay, then. It is not the falling down that gives us the strength. It is the getting up every time we do. So my lesson of life today is when you fall, don't stay down. Always get up and keep getting up every time you fall. That's where your strength lies. I'll be back tomorrow with Don and me. If the good Lord says the same. Bye now. Have a good day.